7:14 on a Monday. We got Barry Laggett and Mike number 4 co-hosting today. And, of course, Mike Sisk is here. Going to talk a little vehicle maintenance before we visit with Barry for a while. Well, you can join in, too, though, Barry. I mean,
yeah, I'll give you all my spiritual mechanic advice. Is what I'll do.
Take it to Minute Mechanic.
Good morning, Dale.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, it's doing all right. Yeah, it's going to be another hot one, isn't it?
How's that air conditioner working in the shop?
Oh, it's good. Yeah. I've got jackets hanging up there in case it gets too chilly.
Yeah, right. Right. Where's the ground rod here? Oh, no, lightning striking in there.
Yeah.
Busy last week?
Yeah, pretty good. And, you know, we're going to be busy this week. It's hot, you know.
That's July.
It's going to be hot, and we got a lot of vehicles coming in, doing a lot of air conditioner stuff, and getting into some of the stuff now with the coolant systems. You know,
just sweating the radiator, save any freeze.
Yeah, we've had a couple of busted radiators and different coolant leaks and overheating issues.
Bad pressure caps.
Well, a couple of them been busted. The tanks are plastic, you know, on these things, and they get split.
Yep.
And we've had quite a bit, and it's going to be I think we'll finish July out on a strong note.
That's good. Well, we got a question here. My newer Ram truck has something called MDS. What is it? What does it do?
MDS has a multi-displacement system, and that is Ram, and they're not the only ones using that. There are other people that's doing it. Chevrolet trucks do it as well. But it's their effort to improve fuel mileage.
Yeah.
You remember back probably in the 80s? I do real well when Cadillac came out with V8 6.4.
Yeah, I still like about those.
They would go down the road, and if you're on a level, pretty level road without a big power requirement, you know, and you're just cruising along, an 8-cylinder engine puts out way, way, way more power than you're actually needing. So what they do on that is they shut off 4 cylinders. So this Dodge with MDS, when that system engages, it's only running on 4 cylinders. There'll be 2 on each side.
Yeah,
of the
keep
V8.
It balanced.
Yeah, it's running on 2 on each side. And from what I understand, it's always the same ones that shuts off. And it improves fuel mileage. I don't know exactly how much, but it's got to improve it a fair amount. And you're seeing that more and more. And, of course, back then, the V8 6.4 Cadillac didn't work. They had issues with it, major issues with it. But the technology has what is that on the $6 million man? We have the technology. But
yeah,
they have the technology now. You know,
it's called editing videotape,
and it works great. From what I can see of people coming in that have it, they're pretty proud of it. I've got a guy that comes in the shop that he went into a 2014. He had a 2006 Dodge truck. And he upgraded to a 2014. He says he gets anywhere from 2 to 4 miles a gallon better.
Really? With the Hemi?
Yeah, with a Hemi.
Huh.
And I think the Hemi's the only one Dodge is doing that on.
I think so. I've heard of I didn't know it was
the
called
Hemi's,
MDS, but I heard
the Hemi, I
was
believe, is the only one that Dodge is doing it. Now, Chevrolet, on their 5.3s, I know they're doing them on those because I've seen them. I don't know about their other engine sizes. You know, like the 6.0 or any of those other engines.
So
but
they're having actually shut that injector off on the fuel rail.
Well, no, they're using they do, and they're also doing this through some kind of witchcraft on the lifters.
On the lifters.
Yes. They are. You have to read up on it, and I'm not an expert on this, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I am.
They're bleeding the pressure out of the
hydraulic lifters. They've got some special lifters in those things that's. I guess collapsing the lifters there for when they need it. And then I drove a.
That used to be a nightmare in the old days.
That meant you had problems.
Yeah, we had to change some things.
I drove a Jeep Grand Cherokee down to Georgia a few months back, and it was a Hemi Jeep with the MDS system on it. And
it had a 5.7 Hemi in that thing?
Yes, it did.
Didn't take you long to get to Georgia.
No, it'll fly. You know. But the thing of it is that MDS system, you rarely felt it. I don't know that I ever felt it more than once or twice as it engaged or disengaged. But yes, you're cruising down the road on 4 cylinders, and most of them have a little icon that will appear on the dash,
and it'll tell you when.
And it will tell you when that's doing it. The Chevy truck I drove a few weeks back that did that, it said V4. Whenever it was doing, it would say V4 on the dash.
Really?
Yes. And I think the Jeep had a fuel-saving mode or something like that showed up.
Huh.
So that's when it's on 4 cylinders. So if you needed to pass somebody and you give a little bit of gas, I mean, you're right back to 8. I mean, in a blink of an eye, or faster than a blink of an eye, you know. But it was pretty seamless. I don't know that you ever really felt it.
Amazing.
Yep. And again, they're doing this through some stuff with the lifters, and I bet you'll see more of it probably with the way fuel requirements are going. You know, these engines now in pickup trucks, 350, 400 horsepower is common.
Well, even I was over there and Tony was talking about the 3.6 from the Chrysler Corporation at 300 horsepower, still running astronomically high fuel economy numbers.
That 3.6, that Pentastar, I think, my wife's got one of those in her car.
Yeah.
And a little Dodge Avenger. And man, I'm gonna tell you, Dale, that's a pretty nice little old engine. And we drove it to Florida a couple of years ago, and we was pushing 30 miles to the gallon, and that's a 300 horsepower V6, so it runs good.
That's impressive.
And you know, the trucks are using. You seeing that Pentastar show up in everything made by Chrysler now.
That's
vans,
vans,
the cars, everything, and it seems to be a pretty good motor. I mean, good as any of them. It does improve the mileage. The MDS thing, the other thing that I have read on that is, if your vehicle is equipped with that, you need to make sure that you use the recommended engine oil weight.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, because you're going to screw up the lifter situation.
Everything that I read on the Hemi stuff in the past, you know, they recommend 5W20 oil, and that's what you need to run in it, because it will affect the way that system works. And I don't know if it's
Mobile 1 520, I bet.
Mobile 1 520 would be great. Anything 520 will be fine. But don't start trying to run 1540 or 1040 or something like that in that, because it will. You can imagine it would change the way that system works. And
yeah,
yep.
Barry, this is a far cry from my 57 Hemi.
A little bit, huh?
Yeah, 2 4 barrels on a 392.
Yeah,
the fuel mileage a little bit different too.
Just a bit.
Last time I tuned it, it was getting 6.3.
Yeah, well, Dale, I think they'll beat you on that pretty bad.
I think so.
Yeah,
but you know that was common in those days. I mean, well, 6 might have been a little bit low, but 9 or 10 wasn't.
Yep. Well, you know, one of the favorite things we talk about is back in the day we had a customer come in the shop about 84, had a half-ton Chevy Silverado, and I'm not picking on Chevrolet because it was across the board. It was everybody's vehicles. But in 1984, he bought a Silverado four-wheel drive half-ton. He had a 305 and a 4-barrel. And it wouldn't pull the bass boat that he had, wouldn't hardly pull it out of the lake.
Yeah.
And it'd get 12 miles to gallon.
Yeah.
You know, now we're looking at modern vehicles, modern trucks, and again, this is across the board. It's a Chevy, Ford, Dodge, and they're putting out close to 400 horsepower, and they'll get 18, 20 miles a gallon. Man, that's a pretty big improvement.
Yeah.
You know,
we had a 72 Dodge with a slant 6. It gets 17 in town and 12 on the highway because it was, I mean, so overgeared.
Yeah.
You know, and even if you're trying to run, and you know, back in them days, if you ran a slant 6, 60 miles an hour, it's run with its tongue hanging out. Tough little engine, but it wasn't blessed with a lot of power in a pickup truck.
Right. Never were. They never were.
And even with a 318, you didn't have a lot of power.
No. But that's my take on an MDS system. They seem to be fine. You're seeing more and more of them showing up out there. Huh. I bet you'll be seeing some of them on a few of the V6s maybe, making them into 4 cylinders as they run down the road. They're pushing for all these manufacturers are trying different things to get their gas mileage up. You know, with the new corporate average fuel economy requirements. And you know, that's why Ford didn't change to an aluminum body on their pickup just because they wanted to.
Yeah.
They was trying to cut weight and improve gas mileage. And
how much weight did they save?
everything I've read says 500 to 700 pounds, and that's a lot of weight.
Yeah, yeah.
And Dodge didn't put a diesel in their half-ton just because they wanted to. They did it for fuel mileage reasons, you know.
Yep. That
little Fiat diesel. GM's got a good fuel economy on their engines. So
they're doing better.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Absolutely, they're doing better.
Wow. Anyway, well, let me remind folks that Mmmm Mechanic has all major brands of motor oils. Keep filters in stock. You've got the transmission machine, what do you call it, T-Tech?
T-Tech.
And we have the motor vac for your
to clean fuel injectors. Yes, we do.
Yep. I may have to come by and do that one of these days on that injection.
You ever done it on your van?
No, I'm about 157, 158. I just did plugs and wires.
Yeah, you'll know a difference.
Yeah. I bet.
Sometime holler, Dad, and we'll set you up and do that.
I'd like to do it.
And again, I'll pretty much tell you that when you pull out of the parking lot, you'll know the difference in the way
Squeal
your
the
van.
wheels?
Oh, it'll get away from you. No, it is a very noticeable difference in throttle response and smoothness. Now, I don't want to sit here for a second and tell, oh, you're going to get more gas mileage and you're going to do this. I've never had anybody come back and complain about what the Motorvac does for them. They seem to be very happy with it.
That's good. Well, let's talk a little bit about the training seminar with the gun.
With Elka. Yeah, we did one last Saturday.
What was it called exactly? I've got the papers here. Home defense.
Yeah, the fundamentals of home defense. I assisted her. I don't want to sit here and act like I was the ramrod of anything on that. All I was an assistant, and we did that last Saturday, this past Saturday up there at Barron Creek, up by Gamaliel. Had 8 people show up, and they ranged in age from teens to probably close to 70 years old. And man, it was hot too. But
Yeah.
it was fun to watch, and it was interesting to watch that people came out and through the instruction and the soundness of the material, there was a very, very measurable difference in the abilities they came with and what they left with. They were much, much better when they left across the board. From the young, there was a young lady there who's 18, 19 years old, getting ready to go to college. And then we had an older man and his wife and everybody in between. And it was for sure a measurable difference in their abilities and what they knew. It helped them greatly.
If just 1% of the folks at the Lafayette Theater had that training, and it was not a gun-free zone, and they were allowed, it's like Rick Perry saying, let the people follow the law. If you have qualified, licensed, skilled, trained, responsible gun owners carrying their weapon, and you don't mark this gun-free zone, there's a good chance that guy wouldn't come in Lafayette.
It seems that, and I'm no expert on this, but it sure seems like in the last few years, these guys who decide they're going to become predators like that, they pick gun-free zones. They figure they can go in there and basically be unopposed, I guess. Maybe they think they're having a chance at easier pickings. I don't know. I don't want to condemn anybody or say anybody did anything wrong or whatever, but it's just, man, this stuff, if these guys seem to be looking for easy pickings, and in their mind, these gun-free zones seem to be that. But, what Elko is teaching with this combat focused shooting and stuff, man, it is good stuff, and the proof was in the pudding up there Saturday with all those people. I think everybody was happy. They wish it would have been about 15 degrees cooler, but I think they were very, very happy with what they got.
Yeah, and Elka is an exceptionally well-trained person to handle.
Yes.
I mean, talk about training, extensive training.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's been all over the country to different training classes, lots and lots of them. She's a competitive shooter as well. She shoots with us out at Twin Lakes Gun Club. Mm-hmm. And she's been all over the place with different ones of us, going to matches and Missouri and everywhere. Just you name it, we've been there. But the list of training credentials that she has acquired over the last few years is impressive. It would cover up a wall. And she knows her stuff, and she is a very personable individual, and she can explain it and help you in a way that you're going to catch on to it, and it works for you.
And I think she has a concealed carry class coming up in August. I'm trying to find that copy. We'll have her come in again, and we'll talk more about that. Have you?
She's got another class somewhere around August the 29th, I know, that's coming up.
Here it's saying August 22nd, perhaps. That one? Is that it? Here. Excuse us, folks. We're going through paperwork here.
This is the Arkansas concealed handgun licensing
that's
class.
A handgun thing,
that will be August 22nd.
Yeah.
And then I think that she has another one of the combat focused shooting classes August 29th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's
I think
the one
she
I was
said
thinking about was the combat focused class will be the 29th.
Cool. Oh, wow. About out of time. Real quick, back to Minute Mechanic. They're located Highway 201 North. You got plenty of time this week to get folks in and out?
Absolutely. Give me a shot. We'll get you in and out. We got a good air-conditioned waiting room.
Yeah.
Yes, we
do. That feels good there.
Yeah, you can come on in and sit down and watch some TV while we work on your car.
Give Mike a call, 425-3135. They got no holidays this week. 27,
Not a one.
Not a one. Rats. Anyway, it's time for the news break. And Barry Lagna, we're going to talk a little global warming and is science trying to become God? We'll be right back.